welcome to WordPress Tip of the Week. This is week number 24 in our continuing series here on tools for professionals. Really awesome tool called iThemes Security. So iThemes Security is a plugin. So let's go ahead and install plugins here. And then we're going to click on Add New. And iThemes Security. Now, iThemes Security has a free and also a pro version, and the pro version is even better than the free version, and the free version is incredible. So now that we installed it, let's go ahead and activate it. But the professional version gives you so much more as far as things that you can do and such. Okay, so now to access it, we can either click on Settings here or go over here to Security and then Settings. Okay, so out of the box, what it does is it performs an initial security check. So all you have to do is click on this. This will give you a really quick one-click securing of your site. What we're going to do is we're going to activate network brute force protection, of course. All right, and now you can see the basics have already been set up. And what it has you do is it has you run secure site again just to make sure everything is good, which of course it is. Now we're going to click on close. And now here are all the settings. You have 32 different options that you can do, and then 6 of them are advanced. Now you can't do all of them because some of them, as you can see, are only available with the upgrade, which is, like I said, absolutely incredible, and it's definitely worth checking out. Okay, so basically what I usually do is I'll work on global settings, I'll work on banned users, and then I'll take a look at local brute force protection and network brute force protection, and sometimes even strong password enforcement as a basic setup. So let's go ahead and take a look at those specific ones. Global settings, you just click on it to configure. All right. And now basically what this is this gives you various messages that you can configure and write. But here is the most important thing right here is the blacklist threshold. For a number of lockouts, this is the number of lockouts per IP before the host is permanently banned. Now 3 lockouts is a lot. I usually knock that down to 2, sometimes even 1. So now the blacklist lookback period, this is how many days the lockout should be remembered to meet the blacklist count that's above, in our case, which is 2. 7 days isn't really a lot. I usually increase it to at least 60. And now the lockout period, when someone's locked out, I usually have it for at least 60 minutes instead of 15. Okay. And then what you can do is you can click here to add your current IP address to the whitelist. And this works out good because sometimes, it's very rare, but sometimes you can actually lock yourself out of the site if you don't do that. So I'll go ahead and click on it and do that. And then all the basic settings that are here are pretty good right out of the gate. So let's go ahead and save it. Okay, and then next, like I said, we're going to go over to banned users. I'm going to click on configure settings, and what this does is block specific IP addresses and user agents from accessing the site. Now, normally from time to time, you'll get people that are trying to ping into your site and things like that, and you'll get IP addresses and warnings. What you can do is you can assemble the list of IP addresses and put it right in here for the banned host. This way they're automatically banned. Same thing with user agents. Okay, so once you have those information, and what you can also do is if you have an IP address, you can actually look it up and that'll show you what's going on. So once that's done, you go ahead and click on Save Changes. Okay, and then next, we're going to go to Local Brute Force Protection. This is the one that protects sites against the hackers that try to guess the login details for your site. This one is very important, so let's go ahead and click on Configure Settings. Okay, so now it looks at the global settings, what you have, and now here's the maximum log attempts per host. So in other words, this is the login attempts before the user is locked out of the system. And then the maximum log attempts per user, this is how many times the username can do it as far as login attempts before they're locked out of the system. So basically what this is saying is this multiplied by this is the number of times that a person can try to log in. That is way, way too much. So what I usually do is I'll knock this down to usually 2 and 2, which will give basically 4 attempts, which is more than enough. I mean, even that's a lot. And then the minutes to remember to log in, instead of 5 minutes, I usually make this pretty high. I'll do sometimes like 600 minutes for 10 hours. And now here is one thing you definitely should check. Anybody that tries to log in using admin, poof, they are automatically banned. So hackers a lot of times will look for sites that have admin as their username, because people who have admin as their username, don't really know too much about security, so therefore they think, hey, this might be a weaker site and I have a better chance of getting in. So let's go ahead and click on Save Settings. Okay, then we're going to go over to Network Brute Force Protection. Alright. Okay, so the Network Brute Force Protection, basically what this will do is it will automatically report the IP address of failed login attempts over to iThemes and then block them for a length of time. So actually iThemes is helping you to protect your network, because anybody that tries to break in, their IP address gets reported to iThemes, and by using the Network Brute Force Protection and this API key, this automatically helps block and ban these people across the network. So using this is a good idea. Now what you can also do is, if you wish, but you don't have to, you can click on Reset the API key, and what this will do is you supply your email address, and then you go ahead and click on Save Settings. And now if you notice, when you go back in, a new API key is issued. So this API key basically works with iThemes to keep track of IP addresses that have tried to break in and failed login attempts. So this is a good thing to have. And then the last thing, usually for a basic security setup, what I do is I'll go ahead and do strong password enforcement. So we'll configure settings. Now this is very simple. This is the minimum role that a user must choose a strong password. By default, it's the administrator, which means only the administrator has to have a strong password. You can lower it all the way down to the lowest level, subscriber. So that means that anybody that comes on this site will have to have a strong password, and it won't let them register without letting them have a strong password. So that's a good thing. And of course, it says down here, if your site invites public registration, setting the role too low may annoy your members. What that means is sometimes people like to have strong passwords, which I think is kind of foolish. So usually what I'll do is I'll keep it, usually probably depending on what the site is, I'll keep it at like the author or editor level. Or if it's a specific site like an e-commerce site, sorry, I'm keeping it at subscriber. That means that everybody has to have a secure password, and it's for their safety. So let's go ahead and click on Save Settings. Okay, and as you can see, there's a lot of other things that you can use and look at and stuff. So this is an absolutely awesome plugin, and I recommend highly to use it. And one good thing about iThemes is they are constantly updating, which is great. So you're always getting the latest and greatest security patches and security features. So it's an absolutely excellent plugin. I use it on all my sites, both the free and pro version, and it's definitely worth looking into. All right, so that wraps up this week's WordPress tip of the week. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I invite you to like it and subscribe to our channel. And all subscribers at the end of each month, all new subscribers at the end of each month, will be put in a drawing for a free WordPress course. So be sure to tell a friend and subscribe to our channel. Help spread the word. And until next week, take care. Bye.